If we are positive, is this enough for success? No. A third ingredient is required, and this is inspiration or motivation. This inspiration is what brings specialty, excellence to anything we do. Without inspiration, the deities are stone idols. With inspiration, we see God in them. Without inspiration, a bhajan is a mere song. With inspiration, we are oozing with devotional sentiments. So it is always the inspiration that brings the cutting edge that makes all the difference in life. You know, when the 100 meters race is run, the person who gets the gold medal in the Olympics, very often he beats the silver medalist by 0.01 second. That's such a tiny difference to distinguish between the silver medalist and the gold medalist. But that is how life is. A little extra cutting edge to your efforts can make the difference between excellence and mediocrity. What is mediocrity? Average. Some people are happy to be average students, some of them are happy to be average in class. But average is never good enough for success, because average means the best amongst the worst, or the worst amongst the best. Either way, it's not good enough. So that fuel that inspires us to greatness is inspiration. And that also carries us across difficulties that are a natural part of the journey of life. If you are inspired, you will cut through difficulties like a knife cut through melted butter. And if you are not inspired, a little difficulty will seem like a mountain. Take the example of Mr. Soichiro Honda. He was the founder of the huge Honda empire. Around the world, it employs many 100,000 people. So he started with very humble beginnings. When he was an engineering student, he got this idea that he can make better piston rings. So he created a new design for piston rings and took his prototype to the Toyota Corporation, which was the big automobile company. His design got rejected, because of which he became a laughing stock amongst his classmates. You were trying to sell a new design to Toyota. But his inspiration said, I can do it. Never mind if I failed once, so what? He went back to the drawing board, and this time he came up with a design that got selected. The Toyota Corporation placed an order for so many 100,000 piston rings, and they extended the capital to him to make his factory. Unfortunately, when his factory got created, it was leveled out by an earthquake. But his enthusiasm said, never mind, this is not the end of the story. He built his factory up again. And when it was ready to start functioning, as luck would have it, Japan entered into the Second World War. And it started getting bombed by American bombers. Unfortunately, his factory got bombed. Nevertheless, his never say die spirit, he said that we will build it up again. Now at this time, cement had become in short supply because of Japan's war efforts, and there was no cement to build his factory. So he found a new way of making cement, and the gasoline cans that were thrown by the bombers, in those days there were different kinds of bombers, so they would throw the gasoline tanks. He would start using those to make his factory, and he called them gifts from Mr. Truman. Finally, his factory was completed yet again, but the war stopped and Japan had lost. Now, there was such a shortage of fuel in Japan that people didn't have fuel for their cars. He didn't have fuel for his own car. Where is the question of selling piston rings to the Toyota Corporation? He was slightly dejected. Driving his bicycle, he got an idea. He fitted a motor to his bicycle and made the first motorcycle. That caught the fancy of his neighbors, and they placed little orders to him to fit motors to their bicycles as well. When he fitted 300 motors to bicycles in the neighborhood, he decided that he has a winning proposition here. But he didn't have the capital to establish a motorcycle factory. So he got the list of all the motorcycle dealers in Japan, which was 8,000, and he handwrote letters to 5,000 of them. 1,800 responded, extending the capital he had requested, and he made his factory yet again for motorcycles this time. But the first one that he made, the first prototype, was huge, and it was an immediate failure. But he said, never mind, I will try yet again. And the next one he made was a smaller prototype. He called it the Super Cub. It succeeded, and after that he never looked back. So what was it that was carrying him through all these difficulties? It was that essential ingredient called enthusiasm. If you are enthusiastic, you have the never say die spirit. See, the people who succeed also failed. They failed 4 times, but they did not give up. And the 5th time they succeeded. And the people who failed were the ones who gave up on the first failure or the 2nd failure or the 3rd failure or the 4th failure. So, somebody said that you may lose everything in life except your enthusiasm, and you will gain it all back. But if you have lost your enthusiasm, you have lost everything. That is why Henry David Thoreau said that nobody is as old as that man who has outlived enthusiasm. So, enthusiasm or inspiration helps you surmount obstacles that are natural in the journey of life. And enthusiasm also helps bring focus. When you are enthusiastic, you apply all your mind and intellectual faculties on the work at hand. Without enthusiasm, there are a million distractions. So in every way, this inspiration is such a vital virtue to possess in life.